continue to trail Governor Ben Ayade's view for zoning of 2023 governorship seats to southern senatorial districts. Federal government reconstruct a vandalized transmission tower in Akwa Ibom State to restore electricity supply to Cross River states. Plus, Senate President called for end to ASU strike. Details in just a moment. Good evening and welcome to NTA News. I am Erika Evie. Now the news in details. The All Progressive Congress APC Cross River State Party stalwart, led by Senator Florence Itagiwa, are showering encomiums on the leader of the party in the South-South, Professor Ben Ayade party leadership, and the 17th governorship aspirant for acceding to a consensus arrangement to elect its governorship candidates ahead of the party primaries for the 2023 general elections. They say the measure will foster unity in the party and make it formidable to win the governorship election in 2023. Paul Abel completes the story.
Yes, the jubilant people you see all around, they are here to show solidarity to Governor Ben Ayade for keeping to his word to move power back to the South in the 2023 general election as concerns the governorship seat. And they are showing appreciation to the governor for coming together, the APC party, to pick a consensus candidate to represent the party in the general elections.
With 17 governorship aspirants from the APC, political analysts were skeptical on how the party will manage the plethora of persons vying for one seat without causing disaffection. But in the wisdom of the governor and the party leadership, that fear might have been overcome as it came up with a consensus candidate in the person of Senator Prince Otu during a meeting in Abuja with all the aspirants present. Party stalwarts who were in a jubilant mood in Calabar with the emergence of a consensus candidate who is from the Southern Senatorial District say the governor is a promise keeper.
You can see that everybody is celebrating. The governor, I hope other states in Nigeria will emulate what Governor Ayade has done in Cross River State in order to conduct an exercise and come out with a peace in the environment. Ayade is 10 feet taller in my eyes. Is that he did not renege on his promise. As of the time that he was campaigning for his second term, we traveled around with him and fearlessly, even at the risk of that election, he kept repeating and repeating over and over again that after the North, power must come down to the South.
And I think that the maturity that was shown by the aspirants, the challenge that we face as a politically fragile environment and community, as a party that is desirous to sustain its responsibility and leadership in the state, what the outcome has been is one that would create a seamless opportunity for collaboration and movement into the future and victory for the party.
You see, when you have your arsenals ready for war and you go to war, you must go with all you have. The candidate that have been picked is the best amongst the rest. You know, we believe we are waiting for affirmation come 2023.
So for them now coming together as one to pick one person to represent the entire members, it therefore means that the party is in a good position.
The party faithful are of the view that the feat has placed the APC on a vantage position ahead of the 2023 general elections as it prepares for its primary election in Cross River State. In Calabar, Paul Abel, NTA News.
Still on zoning, the 2023 general elections may still appear far, but political parties are not giving to chances. One strategy adopted to outdo one another is zoning of political offices. Hence, zoning is becoming more popular among Nigerians of recent than it was 2 years back. How these can be tapped for national development is a concern of some Nigerians. Clement Barikwi takes it from here.
At the core of every democratic setting, Nigeria inclusive, is political stability, or inclusive governance and growth. Proponents of zoning have over the years come to the conclusion that for all these core values of democracy to be achieved, political offices must be shared on rotational basis from the ward to the national levels.
It is an internal arrangement made to ensure fairness, equity, and justice. To me, zoning has contributed immensely for stability of political powers.
In reality, I would say that the people that brought about the zoning concept, they are not really working towards it.
By zoning means these other things should go round.
The respondent maintained that zoning of political offices by political parties should be based on sincerity to achieve its desired objective of equal distribution of development to the different strata of the society.
If we say this time around, it is this group of people, let us prepare the people and let's go for the people. Politicians are not sincere with zoning because one, there's no evidence. So in certain times, some people say denied that such arrangement has not been made.
Agreed that it has no place in the Constitution, zoning according to the people might be the best formula that will guarantee peace and stability in the country if well deployed by the various political parties. In Uyo, Clement Barikwi, NTA News.
Still on politics, the Federal High Court sitting in Abuja has ordered accelerated hearing into a suit seeking to stop the presidential primary of People's Democratic Party, PDP. The court gave the PDP its national chairman, Iyorchia Ayu, national secretary Samuel Aniemeka Anyanwu 4 days within which to file their responses to the suit filed against them by Cosmos Ndukwe as defendant in the matter. The presiding judge, Justice Donatus Okorowo, gave the order while delivering a ruling of the application for abridgment of the time filed by counsel to plaintiff Paul Irokoro, the senior advocate of Nigeria, SAN. The court adjourned the matter to 18th of May for adoption of final addresses. And still on politics, coalition of civil society organizations in Nigeria want the CBN governor Godwin Emefiele to resign his office, having stepped into partisan politics. At a press briefing in Abuja, the coalition agreed that though the CBN governor has the right to seek political office, but he should leave his present office in order to sustain the integrity of the organization. All members of the Federal Executive Council seeking elective positions have been directed to resign their appointment before Monday 16th of May 2022. State House correspondent Adamu Sambo reports that the President Muhammadu Buhari gave the directives while presiding over the resumed meeting of the Council. You're watching news reaching you from the studio of Nta Calabar. You can also watch this newscast from my YouTube channel at YouTube/NTA Calabar. More news when we return. Don't get ready. Welcome back to the rest of the bulletin. Senate is considering a bill that seeks to establish a national center for cancer research and treatment in Nigeria. The bill, sponsored by Senator Yakubu Hussaini, is part of Senate's commitment to boost Nigeria's national health agenda. When passed, the bill is expected to provide holistic national strategy for the early detection and treatment of cancer. It will also harness the required health personnel of the management of the global illness.
It is my view that the National Center for Cancer Research and Treatment Bill 2022 is of great importance to our nation and will give a great boost to our national health agenda. It can also provide the population with long-term training, employment, investment, and additional research and other health issues.
People live with this thing. The attention is not given to it as required. In advanced countries today, they are not as scared as we are with this kind of ailment because they have done so much research, they have invested so much in this area.
As it is, we don't have any hospital that coordinates the activities of treatment of cancer patients. We have cancer patients in state hospitals, federal hospitals, private hospitals, and all of that.
A bill for an act to provide for the establishment of the National Center for Cancer and Treatment and for other connected purposes, 2022 second reading taken, and the bill is referred to the Committee on Health for further legislative action to report back within 4 weeks.
The bill has passed second reading. And moving on, the House of Representatives has amended Section 84, subsection 8 of the Electoral Act, which is seek to enable statutory delegates to vote and participate in convention, congresses, and meetings of political parties. The amendment was given expeditious consideration during an emergency plenary session in the House, as the bill was read the first, second, and third time and subsequently passed. The existing Electoral Act in Section 84, subsection 8, only made provision for elected delegates, leaving out statutory delegates, which the House described as an unintended error, thus necessitating the insertion. Statutory delegates are party members holding elected positions such as the President, Vice President, State Governors, Deputy Governors, National and State Assembly members, National Working Committee members of political parties, among others. 3 weeks after the transmission tower in Akwa Ibom State was vandalized, the federal government has reconstructed and mounted back the tower to restore electricity supply to Cross River State and other franchise areas. Emmanuel Ojitu completes the story.
More than 400 megawatts of electricity lost from the national grid as a result of the vandalism, disrupting power supply in Cross River State and other franchise areas. Federal government says power supply must be restored, and the agency in charge, the Transmission Company of Nigeria, TCN, on its toes in the last 3 weeks to fix the damaged infrastructure. Transmission tower mounted and work to energize the line in progress, expected to be delivered in 1 week. On the mandate of the Power Minister, the Executive Director, Transmission Service Provider of TCN, Victor Adewumi, assesses progress of work.
The tower is back. We are doing everything to make sure that this tower is completed and supply gets back to the public. So we are appealing once again to the general public that all the critical infrastructures that passes through their area, they should take ownership.
Carefulness must be exercised because
If in the course of drawing this conductor, it slips, it goes straight to the swamp. And if the tension is very high, it can drag it towards the river, and that becomes the most dangerous one. So while we're trying to shift the conductors from the left-hand side to the right-hand side, we're taking this into consideration.
While federal government is engaging communities to take ownership of critical infrastructure against vandals, there are plans to deploy technology in safeguarding power infrastructure nationwide. Joshua Ojito, NTA News.
Worried over the effect of the lingering ASU strike on the education sector, the National Association of Nigerian Students, NANS, has again called on the federal government and the Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASU, to resolve to whatever the issues are as a matter of urgency with the Zone F Southeast branch of the association threatening to protest at the airports within the zone if nothing is done in few days' time. The students made their feelings known to Ifeoma Peter Nwanti in Ebonyi State.
Having stayed out of their academic pursuits for some months without the hope of resumption anytime soon, especially with the recent announcement by the Academic Staff Union of Universities of another 3-month strike, the coordinator, National Association of Nigerian Students, Zone F Southeast Zone, Mr. Abuchi Onya, on behalf of other students, said they are left with no option than to embark on a peaceful protest at the airports within the zone in few days' time if the strike is not called off.
Exactly 9 days from today to do the needful and open our schools for learning. Failure to do this within or at the expiration of this ultimatum will only leave us with the last resort of taking a drastic measure. From the 20th to 25th of May 2022, that will see to Nigerian students of the Southeast extraction in their numbers blocking one of the major entrance route into the Southeast, the Niger Bridge, and all the 3 airports in Southeast. We are Nigerian students, and education is our right. Freedom cometh by struggle, and Luther continua Victoria Assad.
Some of the students who looked frustrated speak further on their plight.
The strike is hindering our students from graduating, and we can't afford to stay another 3 good months.
And I plead with the government to hit to the need of ASU so that students will come back to school.
So it is a request, and we are saying that ASU should do it, because if they fail to do it, they will push out to streets.
The students believe that the lingering strike has already done enough harm to the education sector, hence their appeal for both the government and ASU to take a decisive action. In Abakaliki, Ijoma Peter Wante, NTA News.
Still on education, President of the Senate, Ahmed Lawan, has urged the Academic Staff Union of Universities to end its 3 months industrial action, describing the reoccurring strike as a huge challenge to Nigeria's socio-economic development. Senate President granted audience to the executive of the National Association of Nigerian Students, led by Methodist Bishop and President Vision Africa, Bishop Sunday Onoha, where he promised that the Senate will make concerted effort to ensure that ASU and federal government are back to the negotiating table soon. Senator Lawan observed that the 2009 agreement between ASU and the federal government has been the main cause of the recurring industrial conflicts, describing the agreement as unrealistic. In its bid to resolve the prolonged industrial crisis in the university system, the Joint Action Committee of the Non-Academic Staff Union of Educational and associated institutions and the Senior Staff Association of Nigerian Universities, SANU, has presented to the federal government an alternative payment to IPPIS. The alternative payment, known as University Peculiar Payroll Payment System, U3PS, for the payment of their salaries. Chairman of the Joint Committee, Dr. Hassan Mokolo, presented the proposed payment platform to the Minister of Education, Adamu. So far, ASU is insisting on the University Transparency Accountability System, UTAS, as alternative payment platform, while the JAC of SANU and NASU is opting for U3PS. But before we go, a recap of the top stories. Reaction have continued to trail Governor Ben Ayade's view for zoning of 2023 governorship seats to southern senatorial districts. Federal government has reconstructed vandalized transmission tower in Akwa Ibom State to restore electricity supply to Cross River State. It was also in the news that the Senate President Ahmed Lawan has called for end to ASU strike. That is it. Thanks for watching. Good night.